Hello and greetings from Percentilers. This is Mayank Raj Singh welcoming you to a brand new series brought about by Percentilers for you, the topic-wise CAT problem solutions on quantitative ability. So first of all, I really hope that all of you are keeping safe in these difficult times of pandemic, and I pray to God that things normalize very soon for all of us. So what is so special about our series? There are already so many books in the market which offer you CAT questions topic wise from quantitative ability. So what is special about my videos is that I will give you as many solutions as I know for each question that you will see over here. It could be formal method or an informal method. It could be a method of algebra, a method coming from the options, a method concerning ratio, or a method concerning allegation or percentage. You will find all the methods over here that I know, whatever be the topic going on. So the topics will flow in the series that I believe is the best in sequence to be studied. So first we will have questions on simple equations, followed by ratio, followed by percent, followed by average, followed by time, speed, distance, followed by time and work. So entire arithmetic, then entire number system, then entire geometry, then entire algebra, then entire modern mathematics. All right, so starting with the simple equation questions chronologically from CAT 1990. Please have a look at the question, pause the video if you wish to give it an honest attempt, and then resume the video for the solution. So this is a great question which also proves, by the way, that no question of CAT is old enough to get retired. This is a question from 1990 and it is heavier than a lot of questions of 2000s and the ones which came after 2010 also. I would like to say that if I were writing the exam, then I would do this question using the options. How? First of all, this line of the question is golden. It gives me a great lead that the difference between the number of books being more than one. This helps me discard this option as the difference between physics and maths books, as the difference between physics and chemistry books is just one, and also discards this option as the difference between maths and physics books is just one. It says that the difference is more than one, so at least a difference of two. Now two options remaining, I'm going to pick any one of them and try. So maths book, physics book, chemistry book, the costs of which are respectively 17 rupees, 19 rupees and 23 rupees. If I check the first option, so 5, 8 and 17, let me multiply and find out if the sum becomes 620 rupees or not. Let us check. So 17 into 23 will be like 400 minus 9, 391. 19 into 8 would be like 38, 76, 152. It can also be done like 8 into 20 minus 8, and this is 85. So I'm afraid that if I add these three numbers, I am not getting a sum of 620. Then plain and simple, by the process of elimination, I would declare C option to be my answer. Although it doesn't leave any need for us to try out the only remaining option, still for your satisfaction and understanding, I'm going to just try it out. So this is 85, this is 190, and this is going to be 345. So the addition of which is going to be definitely end up with a 0 and exactly 620. So this is my way of trying out options, thereby not bothering my brain so much and saving my mental energy for the more difficult questions in the exam. However, for your best learning interest, I am going to solve this question using and making equations also. So let us say that the number of books of maths, physics and chemistry be small p, small m, small p and small c respectively. So first equation ever that is made is this obviously, and the second equation will be 17m plus 19p plus 23c is going to be 620. So we are left with only these two equations. And another thing that I am given from the question side is m is less than p, which is less than c. And obviously an untold fact that m, p and c are all positive integers because they are number of books. They cannot be in fractions or irrational. So now if I try to solve these two equations and I try to eliminate c from here, I'm going to get 6m plus 4 P is equal to 70. So some of the mechanical calculation I skip in the video. So wherever you feel you are stuck or you didn't understand, you can please pause the video, work it out on the piece of paper you have, and be satisfied. And when you reach this, and then you can resume. 3m plus 2p is equal to 35. Now, obviously, we do not have the final solution as yet because there were only two equations and three unknowns, but we have other pieces of information that are going to help us in this. So I'm going to make a table of maths, physics and chemistry books. One pair of maths and physics book I have to just hit and try and figure out from this equation. So I can see that if I take 11 math book, an extreme value, and just one physics book and just one physics book, I can have this 35. Okay, and we know that the sum of the three books is going to be 30, so we can also find the number of chemistry book. But in the first place, I am going to discard this pair because the physics books were supposed to be more than the number of maths books. Now, with this equation, I know that math books, if you want to decrease maths books, you are going to increase physics books. Now, there is this special property of simple equations that if there is an equation in addition, so one of them will decrease, the other will increase, that you all know. But here, the math book will decrease by the multiples of 2, and physics books are going to increase with the multiples of 3. So you can make it 9 and this will become 4. You can make it 7 and this will become 7. And now you will make it 5 and this will become 10. And this is where I am getting interested now, because this is the first such pair where physics books are going to be more than maths books. And so 15 books are going to be from chemistry. Now, if you do this one more time, that if you decrease the number of math books by 2, number of physics books increased by 3, in that case, we have 16 books already. So the number of chemistry books will be 14, and this pair will be discarded because physics books and chemistry books differ only by 1. And there is no point going ahead, because now if you go ahead, you will have more physics books than chemistry books. So I think we are stuck with just one combination of the number of books for math, physics and chemistry. So this is how we get the final answer. But if you compare the two solutions, the one which we did using options and the one which we did now, so the second solution might be very soul satisfying for you from a hardcore mathematics point of view, but from management point of view, if you just look at cracking the exam, I think the options approach would weigh much heavier and higher. It is a solution which bothers you less, which tires you less, and gives you faster and more confident solution. Anyway, moving on to the next question of CAT 1990 again. Please have a look, pause the video, give it a try and resume. So we have to multiply two of these numbers by 5 each and the other two by 10 each. And we have to get a result which ends with 0. Unit digit should be 0. Now I think by little bit of thinking and hit and try, you can understand that there are only two possibilities to check. One, when these two are multiplied by 5 and these two by 10, and the other when these two by 10 and these two by 5. Because otherwise, anything other than these two combinations will leave you the sum of money a non-integer. These are the only two possibilities which give you the sum of money as integer. So if you just see this is going to be 8 into 5, 40, 40 and 50, and obviously this is working out fine. But this, the second one, this will make 35 rupees here, 45 rupees here, 25 rupees here, and 10 rupees here. So three numbers ending with 5 and fourth number ending with 0. This is not going to work out. So this is not going to work. So there is only one possibility, that you take 5 cards each of 3.5 and 4.5 rupees and 10 cards each of 5 rupees and 2 rupees. So how many cards, how many notes did Rahul give? For that you have to find the amounts. These together are going to make 40 rupees. This is 50 rupees and this is 20 rupees. So the amount is 110 rupees. So 11 notes are going to be used by Rahul. 11 10 rupee notes. So answer option D. Alright, moving to the next question. CAT 1991. We are going to do this question in 3 ways. Yeah, so you must have seen the question and must have found your answer. Now, for the alternative solutions, you can just watch the video. Okay, so let us try to do this question using options. So one of these numbers will fit correctly as the number of cards that originally Iqbal had. I have made a second column as the number of cards that Mushtaq might have, and I'm going to try the first option. First option, Iqbal has 9 cards. Now Iqbal will receive certain number of cards so that the number of cards with him will become a multiple of 4. Okay, that would mean that he's going to receive 3 cards and then the number will become 12, and the change number of Mushtaq's card then would be 3 accordingly. That means originally Mushtaq had 6 cards. That is why when he gave away 3 cards to Iqbal, Iqbal had 12 and Mushtaq had 3. Hence Iqbal had 4 times as many cards as Mushtaq. And in turn, when Iqbal gives away 3 cards, Mushtaq will have 9 cards, and this is not 3 times. In fact, Mushtaq has more cards now. So first option doesn't work out. Okay, when you just transfer 3 cards here and there, and please understand that there will be a transfer of 3 cards at least, because the number of cards that Iqbal is supposed to have in the first place is to be a multiple of 12. So he has to receive at least 3 cards. So first option doesn't work out because with just a small number of transfer, he is having less number of cards as Mushtaq in the second case, whereas he should still have more number of cards than Mushtaq in the second case. So I hope you understand this. So first option is gone. Let me try the second option. If Iqbal has 31 cards, okay, now to become a multiple of 4, Iqbal can add a minimum of 1 card, hence making it 32, and 32 is 4 times of 8. That means Mushtaq now has 8 cards. That means initially Mushtaq had 9 cards. So when transferred 1, they became 32 and 8, 4:1. Now if Iqbal gives away this 1 card to Mushtaq, he will have 30 cards, which should be 3 times 10. And yes, Mushtaq should have 10 cards now, because now 1 card is received by him. So this is working out fine. And you can see that 31 plus 9, they make 40 cards altogether. If you see from a full pack of playing cards, here you should have a general knowledge that playing cards are 52 in number. Any number higher than this will make the total number of playing cards with Iqbal and Mushtaq to be more than 52. Hence I think we can approve of this as our final answer. Anyway, the question said which of them could represent. That means they were asking only for a possibility, and whenever a question asks for a possibility, you can rest assured that the other 3 options will be definitely impossible. That is why they are asking only for possibility. Deliberately they will give you only 1 option which is possible. So this is my way of approaching the question with options. Now let us do it with equation, which might satisfy you more. So let Mushtaq had M cards and Iqbal had I cards, and the cards they are transferring to each other be K in number. So I don't know what M is, what I is. I don't even know what M minus I is. I don't even know what M plus I is. All I know is if I receives K cards, then this will be 4 times M minus K, because those K cards came from M only. So solving this, I get an equation that is I equal to 4M minus 5K. Second time, I has to give away K cards, and this will be 3 times M plus K. Solving this, I'll get the same I equal to 3M plus 4K. Now if we solve these 2 equations, we'll get 4M minus 5K equal 3M plus 4K, and this gives you M equal to 9K. Now you know this M, I and K are all supposed to be positive integers because they are number of cards. They cannot be fraction or decimal or irrational numbers. So if I just make a small table of M, I and K, the minimum number of K that I have to put would be 1. In that case, M would become 9, and putting M as 9 and putting M as 9 and K as 1, in the first equation or maybe in the second, in any way, I'm going to receive I as 31. Now you know, if I just make k equal to 2, all these numbers will be doubled, and then the number of cards between M and I, Mushtaq and Iqbal, would be 80. That is not possible because the total number of playing cards in the pack are just 52. So I think we have to just be satisfied with one pair of numbers with M and I, and this gives me a possible value of I as 31. So this is my equation solution, and now there is a brand new solution for this question, which is a ratio solution. Although we are yet to release a video on ratio questions, but still, if this question can be solved using ratio, so those of you who are interested to see the ratio solution to this question may keep watching. And on a lighter note, I would say that this solution is not for the faint-hearted. So please try your best to understand the ratio solution. Here it comes. So you know that the total number of cards between Mushtaq and Iqbal are once 1:4 in the ratio, and next time 1:3 in the ratio. Hence, the total number of cards, if I am going to take this also in the ratio, is 5 and 4. This tells me the total number of cards which never changed between the two variations, first one and second one, is a multiple of 5 as well as a multiple of 4. This tells me that the total number of cards must be 20 or 40, because 60 is no chance. Total number of cards, total number of playing cards in the pack are only 52. So there are only two chances. There are either 20 cards distributed between Iqbal and Mushtaq, or there are 40 cards. So we are going to try each number 20 and 40 one by one, and we will see what are the chances. But before that, we have to understand that the number of cards between Iqbal and Mushtaq is like this. First, Iqbal gives away X cards and Mushtaq receives X cards. And next time, Iqbal receives X cards and Mushtaq gives away X cards. So the difference between these two numbers, either you take Iqbal's cards or Mushtaq's cards, they are going to be 2x. Okay, this we have to understand. First, you gave away X cards, then you received X cards. So the difference between your two numbers must be an even number, a multiple of 2. Now with this understanding, we are going to try the number of cards with Mushtaq and Iqbal in the two cases. First case, when Mushtaq gave Iqbal cards, the ratio of cards was 1:4, which tells me the actual number of cards to be 4 and 16. Okay, fair enough. Next time this ratio became 1:3, which tells me the actual number of cards must be 5 and 15. Just imagine the number of cards with Mushtaq in both the cases just differ by 1. Is it possible? We just discussed that the number of cards with one person in the two variations must be at least 2, must be an even number. Here the number of cards differ only by 1, which means that half a card was transferred here and there, which is not possible. So 20 is not a possibility, and we are now approaching our sure shot answer. Iqbal and Mushtaq, first the ratio was 4:1, which means 32 and 8 cards in the first scenario, and in the second scenario it was 3:1, which means 30 and 10 cards in the second scenario. And the difference between Mushtaq's cards is 2, or maybe Iqbal's cards is also 2. That means there was a transfer of one card here and there, one card from Mushtaq to Iqbal and then from Iqbal to Mushtaq. That means the only possibility is 31. So a lot of understanding, a lot of depth is required to understand this method. This is a next level method. You might not find this method in 99% of the books and other sources wherever you go. So this is special about our videos. Anyway, so please write down in the comment section how you liked this particular method, and also you can write your doubts and queries about this particular method, and we will love to answer. And you can also mention if you have some other method to solve this question apart from these three methods that I have solved. Anyway, moving on. Easy questions now. No solution means inconsistency. And inconsistency is when A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 but not equal to C1 by C2. A small note here, people who don't understand what I just wrote in this box may please refer to our basic theory video of simple equations which is present on YouTube channel Percentilers. You can choose the playlist all about algebra and you can just go ahead to watch the basics of simple equations over there. Anyway, moving on. So 2 upon k should be equal to minus 8 upon 4, solving which you get k equal to minus 1. Clear cut answer. There is no shorter solution for this, C option. Alright, next question. So 2 oranges, suppose R is the number of oranges, B is the number of banana and A is the number of apples. So 2 oranges, 3 bananas and 4 apples cost rupees 15. 3 oranges, 2 bananas and 1 apple costs rupees 10. Now looking at the options, there is one spoiler option D which says cannot be determined. Sometimes even this option is helpful, but here it looks like it is making the question a little more difficult. Anyway, so let me just try to figure out with the options. So what we need is the combined cost of 3 oranges, 3 bananas and 3 apples. You can see that it is 3 times something. So the answer should be a multiple of 3. On this basis, I can discard these two options. So there are just two options left, 15 rupees and cannot be determined. Taking a leap of faith, you can just mark C option and go ahead if suppose you have no idea. However, we have one more lead. So you see that with 3 oranges, when there were less fruits being bought, just 2 bananas and 1 apple, still the combined cost was 10 rupees. Now you have more bananas and more apples along with 3 oranges, so the cost has to be more than 10. This way also we are able to discard these two options. So we have now 2 votes towards C option, and D anyway we are clueless about. However, this is not a foolproof solution to the question, but still some people who are not able to figure out what to do, what should they do? They can at least improve their chances by discarding wrong options. That is what I did. So if you just observe that 3 plus 2 is 5, 3 plus 2 is 5 and 4 plus 1 is 5, and you just plain and simple add these two equations, you will get 5 times R plus B plus A as 25. So you will get 3 times R plus B plus A to be 15, and that is what is required to do this question. Now a lot of people in classes have asked me कि सर ये तो बड़ा आसान क्वेश्चन है, ये तो सीधे सीधे दिख गया, अगर सीधे सीधे नहीं दिखा तो हमें कैसे पता चलेगा कि the combination asked in the question can be determined or not. So hit and try में, because people basically want security, right? So they are always insecure कि यहाँ दिख गया वहाँ नहीं दिखा तो हम क्या करेंगे. So what do I tell them then? So I'm going to tell you too. So through this question, let us have some knowledge. So I would say that if you want to know that the given combination is possible or not, you just multiply the first equation by m and the second by n, where m and n could be anything rational. So you want equal number of oranges, equal number of bananas, equal number of apples. So I would say that 2m plus 3n should be equal to 3m plus 2n, which should be equal to 4m plus n. Now you can take pairs of equation. Okay, you can take these two first, then you can take these two first, or if needed you can take these two first, and you should always get the ratio of m and n to be same. If taking different pairs you are getting different values of the ratio of m and n, that means it cannot be determined. Okay, so suppose you take let me call them first scenario, second scenario, third scenario. So if you take just first and second expressions, you will get m equal to n. Second and third, again you get m equal to n. First and third, again you get m equal to n. Okay, so that means that it can be determined, and m equal to n means m by n equal to 1 by 1. So you can just take m and n as 1 by 1 and you will get what you want. Had it been the cannot be determined case, the ratio of m and n that you get by taking first and second expressions would be different from the one that you would get by taking second and third expressions. Hope this works for you. So guys, that would be all for this first video. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you learned something out of this, and please write in the comment sections how you felt, and any suggestions are more than welcome. And very important thing from our side, we offer to take your questions and make videos on those questions, but the condition is that the questions coming from your side, but the only condition is that priority will be given to the real exam questions coming from your side. So please let us know if we are missing out on a certain question that came in CAT in a certain year, or maybe from any other exam that you want us to solve. We would love to provide solutions for your questions posted by you. Thank you so very much guys for watching this video. Please join our WhatsApp groups for active discussions and preparations, and obviously please subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it as yet. Thank you so very much. This is Mayank Singh signing off. See you in the second video.